Hello and happy Tuesday. Today we're doing another live stream lesson using the level 2 workbook. Today we're going to be practicing a new grammar form and it is specifically this one right here, the 잘 and 잘 못 grammar form. So this is what we're going to be practicing today on page 47. This grammar form is very useful and you'll see it used all of the time. And it's used to talking about your proficiency at things. So how good or how bad you are at things. So literally, 잘 is an adverb meaning well, and 잘 못 is an adverb meaning not well. And we're going to see how you can use them in sentences to talk about how well you can do something. Hi, your lovely sunshine. Happy to see you too. Welcome back. So, the first exercise here is using the picture and the verb provided. Make a sentence using either 잘 or 잘 못. And it's been specified to us. We have 잘 못 타다, for example, is this first one. So let's look at this one. 잘 못 타다. Now, this verb, 타다, means to ride, and in the present tense, it becomes 타요. 안녕하세요, hello, becomes 타요. And we have this 잘 못 타요. Now, we do need an object here. This object is a bicycle, and bicycle is 자전거. So you can add this to complete the sentence. Did you see it here? 자전거를 잘 못 타요. So this is the 자전거, the bicycle. We use the object particle here because 타요, to ride, is an action that you do. So use the object particle. 자전거를. And this 잘 못 means well cannot, literally. Well cannot or not well. So this means I can't really ride a bike. So earlier, previously in level 1, we saw how you can add 못 to things to say that you can't do something at all, right? If you said 자전거를 못 타요, that means I can't ride a bike at all. I don't know how. But if you add this 잘 as in the middle, it's more like I can't really ride it well. Like I know how to ride a bike, but I'm not that good at it. And it can also mean, we'll see this more later on, but it can also mean I don't often ride bicycles. It can kind of have either meaning depending on the context, and we'll see this more later on. But when you add this 잘 못, it's to do with your proficiency at doing things. Let's look at another one. What is this? Anyone can identify what this picture is of? Using your Korean knowledge, what is this? Does anyone know? This thing right here. If you were to give it a name, Valeria, yes, perfect. It is kimchi. Kimchi, as you probably are aware, is a fermented cabbage dish in Korea. Not everyone likes it. I love kimchi, but it is maybe an acquired taste and not everyone likes it. So if you were going to say, I can't really eat kimchi, I don't really like it, I don't eat it that much, you can say 김치를, using this grammar form here, 잘 못 먹어요. That means I don't really like kimchi. Or like I can't eat it very well, literally. Yeah, 못 is negative to mean cannot. And when combined with 잘, it's sort of that feeling of like not really, kind of not, I kind of can't. I don't eat it often, I don't particularly like it, it doesn't really suit me. any of those sort of sentences, kimchi를 잘 못 먹어요. Maybe you don't like the flavor. A lot of people say that kimchi, the flavor is too strong or too spicy. If you're like that, it's not that you can't eat it at all, right? You can kind of eat it, but 잘 못 먹어요 is like, it's not great. I don't love it. Yeah. Let's look at this one. 잘 만들다. So now there's no 못, right? It's just 잘 만들다. So that means that you can make it well. Remember that 잘 means well. 만들다 means to make. And this, of course, is pizza or pizza. So how would you say, put this all together and say that I can make pizza well, or I'm good at making pizza? You could say 피자를 잘 만들어요. I'm good at making pizza. I'll highlight these guys. So 잘못 will make yellow, and then 잘 will make green. So this means I make good pizza, or I make pizza well. I was making kimchi at home years ago. I liked it. Oh, yeah, I've seen people make homemade kimchi. I don't think it's really that difficult to make. It just takes some time and like some knowledge. But I definitely want to try it sometime, making my own kimchi. Okay, we won't do all of these perhaps. We'll do a couple more on this page. Let's do this one. This is 두럼. 두럼 is the drums. So how do you say I play the drums well? Here we have 잘 meaning well, and 치다 means to play. So this becomes 드럼을 잘 쳐요. In the present tense, 치다 becomes 쳐요. Kylie, beautiful. Thank you. So I'm good at the drums, or I'm good at playing the drums, or I know how to play the drums well, anything like that. Let's look at something in the past tense. This is 잘 만들다. We're going to make it in the past tense. Now, 만들다, remember, means to make, and this is kimchi. So how do we say I made in the past some good kimchi? I made it well in the past. Kylie, beautiful, good job. We start with the object, right? 김치를. There is a hidden subject. You could say 저는, but you don't have to. Hidden 저는 here. And then 김치를. 잘, well. 잘 is an adverb, so it goes before the verb. 잘 만들었어요, right? That's 만들다 in the past tense. So I made kimchi well. All right. Awesome. Let's move on to some more questions. This is kind of a similar process. Let's see some other sentences. This first one, exercise 2, translating. So we've got these English sentences and we've got to translate them into Korean. Other way around, sorry, there are Korean sentences and we're putting them into English. So the first one, A, 저는 자전거를 잘 못 타요. This one we kind of had on the previous page, right? So it should be familiar to you. 저는 means I. Kylie, yeah, perfect. 자전거 is bicycle. 잘, well, 못, cannot. 타요, ride. So literally, I bicycle, well, cannot ride. Or, I can't ride a bike well. There's lots of ways you could say this in English, right? There are many, many, many ways you could say this. You could say things like, I'm not very good on a bicycle, or I don't really ride a bike very well. I'm not very good at riding bicycles. There's so many ways in English. But in Korean, this is a really common way to do it. You can just say, 잘 못 타요. I can't ride a bicycle well. Valeria, yes. B. 저는 그림을 잘 그려요. Does anyone recognize this verb? Does anyone know what this is? 그림을 그리다. It's maybe not a super common verb. Someone may know or recognize this, even just this 그림. Maybe you can guess if you know 그림. Valeria, Anna, yes, perfect. It means to draw or paint. It actually can mean either. So let's just say it means drawing, but it could mean painting as well. I am good, because it's 잘, at painting. Actually, I'll do both. Painting / drawing. I am good at it. See verb come to 잘. So the 잘 goes before the verb. This 그리다 is the verb, and 그림 is the noun meaning painting. So literally it's like I painting well draw or well paint. Or in English, just I'm good at art. That's a good translation as well. I knew this word in Korean but forgot it in English. I have had that experience. I've had that experience too. Okay. C. 크리스는 노래를 잘해요. Does anyone know what this 노래하다 is? If anyone can figure out what this sentence means. We're talking about Chris now. Chris. Beautiful. Chris is good at singing. Or Chris is a good singer. You could say either way, right? It means the same thing. 노래 is a song. And then 하다 is to do. So literally Chris, song, well sings. So Chris is good at singing. Chris is good at singing songs. Anything like that. Or Chris is a good singer. What about D? 레이첼은 노래를 잘 못해요. What does this sentence mean? Here we're talking about Rachel. Valeria, yeah, good job. It's the same noun, right? We still have 노래, which means song, but we've changed it to 잘 못. Kylie, yes. Rachel sings poorly. I like that translation. I'll put that. Rachel sings poorly. Rachel is a poor singer. Rachel is not good at singing. Any of those sentences are good translations. When you're talking about Rachel's skill at singing, it is not great. Rachel's out of tone. Yes, there are actually expressions in Korean like that, things being like tone deaf. I forget actually on the top of my head what it is in Korean, but there is a word for it, an expression for being tone deaf as well. I wish I could remember it right now. If anyone knows it offhand, put it in the comments because I'm blanking on this right now. All right. 3. Now we are going to do the other way. We're going to go from English into Korean. So A is I sing well. So how do you say that? I sing well, or I am a good singer. We're talking about ourselves, so we can start with 저는, I. And now to sing well, there are a couple ways to say this, but Valeria, yes, we're going to do that. You can start with 노래를 잘 해요. It's simple, right? We can just copy this sentence before and just change 그리스 to 저는 and just copy the rest of it. And it means I song well do, or I am good at singing. I sing songs well. This one, I study well. How would you say this? We just have to change this verb to studying. I study well. How would this work? Again, we're going to start with 저는 because we're talking about ourselves. 저는. Now this one, be careful about this, right? Now, this 잘 is an adverb, and it goes before the verb, but remember it needs to go in the middle of separable 하다 verbs if you want to make the sentence more natural. So you could say 저는 잘 공부해요, and everyone would understand you. But yes, your lovely sunshine, even better is to say 저는 공부를 잘 해요. That's even better sentence. An even better sentence. 공부를 잘해요. I study well. I'm good at studying. This can also mean something like I get good grades as well. It could mean that in context as well. 공부를 잘해요. I do well in my studies. I study well. I get good grades. And because 공부하다 is a separable 하다 verb, that's why 잘 is going in the middle. C. I can't really drink alcohol. If you were going to say this in Korean, what would you say? I can't really drink alcohol. So again, we're going to talk about ourselves. So we're starting with 저는. And then what's the word for alcohol in Korean? Valeria, yes. You've got the word for alcohol in your sentence. Good job. The word for alcohol in Korean is 술. And because it ends on a consonant sound, the object particle we add is So 술을. And then this can't really. This is where we sort of have our 잘못. 잘못. And then to drink is 마시다, which becomes 마셔요. 술을 잘못 마셔요. I can't really drink alcohol. I don't really like to drink alcohol. I don't drink it very often. I can't handle my liquor. Any of those sort of sentences. 저는 술을 잘못 마셔요. You might drink a little bit. You might have some alcohol, but you don't like to drink it a lot. 잘못 마셔요. Okay, next one. I can't really eat meat. All right, so this is a similar sentence, right? But we have a new noun to use. What is the noun we need? Kylie, yeah, good job. The noun for meat is 고기. 고기 ends on a vowel, so we add 를. And then you can't really do it, so that's 잘못. And a new verb to eat is 먹어요. I cannot eat. Or I can't really eat meat. Again, you might eat a little bit of meat, but it's not something you like to have a lot of, or maybe it's not great for your digestion or anything like that. You don't really like to eat meat. You can't eat a lot of it. 고기를 잘못 먹어요. C. I am not a good cook. I am not a good cook. How do we say this? We have the tools to say this. If you think about what that means. Valeria, perfect. So, we're talking about ourselves. Again, all of these chonins are kind of optional. You don't have to add them, but I'm putting it here anyway. Hello, can you tell me what book is this? This is the level 2 workbook. This is the cover. I don't think I've shown the cover yet, so there it is. You can find it online on this live stream and on Amazon, etc. Okay, I am not a good cook. So when you're saying this is that I am not good at cooking, right? I'm not a good cook. So we need the verb to cook. And the verb to cook is 요리하다. 요리하다. But this is a separable 하다 verb. So we have the same thing we have to do. 요리를 잘못 해요. You could also say 요리를 못해요, right? That's just a stronger meaning of like, I cannot cook at all. You know, I can't even make toast. Like, I cannot do any cooking. This is like, you know, I can kind of cook a little bit, but I'm not great. I'm not a great cook. 요리를 잘 못해요. Okay, last. Lucky last. I'm a strong swimmer. How could you say this naturally in Korean? Again, we're not translating this literally, right? Think beyond the literal translation and put it into Korean context. Valeria, perfect. So here we're talking about your skill at swimming, right? And swimming is 수영하다. Again, 수영하다 is also a separable 하다 verb. So, 저는 수영을 잘 못해요. See how in English there's all these different ways you can say this, right? Korean, I mean, there's a couple ways you can say this too, but it's more straightforward. You can just say 수영을 잘 못해요, and it means I'm not a strong swimmer. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to add a not here, and then and then I'm correct. If you're going to say I'm a strong swimmer, you take out 못, and you'd say 수영을 잘해요. I'm cheating here because I don't want to rewrite it. But yes, good catch. I did read that wrong. I am not a strong swimmer. 수영을 잘 못해요. I am a strong swimmer would be 수영을 잘해요. All right. Okay, so now we are going to combine this 잘 못 grammar form with some irregular verbs. So we practiced irregular verbs earlier in this book, and let's try some. The first one is Rachel can't really listen to classical music. If you are not a fan of classical music, maybe this sentence is useful. Now, Rachel, we had her name earlier. I'm just going to copy. Rachel은. As for Rachel, what is the name of the book? The name of the book is the Level 2 workbook. This is what the cover looks like. It's the brown colouring in Level 2. Thank you, Hack. H-A-Q-Q. So Rachel can't really listen to classical music. Rachel은. Now we have here it been provided to listen to classical music is classic 음악을 듣다. But 듣다, remember, is an irregular verb. Valeria, yes, good job. I'm going to copy this. Classic 음악을 잘 못, right? She can't really do it. 들어요. 듣다 becomes 들어요 in the present tense. It's an irregular verb. And we have 잘 못 to say that she can't really do something. Next one. James wears hats a lot. Now, remember how I said earlier how this 잘 and 잘 못 can be used to talk about how often you do something. And this is pretty common. And you'll see it in this sentence. So we have here to wear a hat is 모자를 쓰다. This is an irregular verb and it becomes 써요 in the present tense. So James, I think that's how you spell it. James는 모자를. Now to wear something a lot, that's 잘. So, 잘 써요. He is a big fan of hats. He wears them all the time. 안녕하세요. So, he 잘 써요. He wears hats a lot. So, this is kind of another meaning of 잘 and 잘 못, right? We saw it used to talk about how good you are at things. Can also be used to talk about how often you do something. All right. I see someone say, Kylie, 모자를 looks complicated. Yeah, Valeria. 모자를 많이 써요. So this is actually also, it's a good sentence, but again, it means something, could mean something slightly different. If you said 모자를 많이 써요, it sounds like he's wearing many hats at once. He's wearing many hats at the same time. Whereas this is like, he wears hats often. Is it Talk to Me in Korean? No, this is not Talk to Me in Korean. This is a different book. All right. C. Chris is good at writing essays. Is good at writing essays. So we have this 쓰다 verb again. What book is it? This is called the Level 2 workbook. 밥 먹었어요? 네, 밥 먹었어요. 감사합니다. This is the Level 2 workbook, and this is what the cover looks like. Chris is good at writing essays. There's also used 쓰다. 쓰다 has many meanings in Korean. Oh, it's from you, yes. I am not the only author. There are 3 authors to this book, but I am one of the authors. 에세이를 쓰다. So 크리스는, as for Chris, he is essay. He's good at it, right? So 잘 써요. He is good at writing essays. Do you have a learning book to go along with this book? Yes, we do indeed. It is called Conversational Korean Grammar. It is our grammar textbook. I will show it to you really briefly. This is it here. So each of the lessons in the workbook comes from an associated textbook lesson as well. And we're in level 2 right now. Kylie, beautiful, good job. Chris essays well writes. Notice the same verb here, right? But different meaning. This means to wear, and this means to write. Now we're going to have another meaning of 쓰다 next as well. We're going to have to spend money. 돈을 쓰다. Thank you, I'm glad it's helpful. So 쓰다 can also mean to spend. So how do you say, I spend money quite a lot? I spend quite a lot of money, or I spend money often. We're talking about ourselves, right? So 저는, I spend money a lot. So we have this 돈을 쓰다 is to spend money, and then to do it often, we add 잘. 돈을 잘 써요. Now this one here, you could change this out for money and it means the same thing really. 돈을 잘 써요 means I spend money quite frequently, quite a lot. So it's similar in meaning to 많이 써요. Similar meaning. 저는 돈을 잘 써요. I spend money quite a lot, quite frequently. E. James did well choosing the furniture. Can we add 자주? Yes, 자주 also has a similar meaning to 잘 here. 돈을 자주 써요 means kind of the same thing. Yeah, means the same thing. James did well choosing the furniture. Now this also we can say, we have the word for furniture, it's 가구. And we have the verb 고르다, to choose. Now this is a irregular and it becomes 골라요 in the present tense. Be careful of that. We had this earlier in this book. So 쓰다 changes to 써요. Yes. 써요 isn't to buy. No. 써요 has many meanings. You're thinking maybe of 사요. 사요 means to buy. 써요 means to use, to write, or to wear, or it also means to be bitter. So this 쓰다 verb has many, many meanings. So James did well choosing the furniture. Here we're talking about James again, so we're going to write James는. What did he do? He chose furniture well. Does the level 1 book explain that? Explain the different meanings of 쓰다? I'm not sure we dive into it in this first book, but it's explained in the back here. So 가구, right, the furniture, to choose is an action that you do, so we use the object particle, 가구를. He did well, right, he did it well, so we're going to use 잘. Now, careful of this final verb, right, because this is the past tense. He did well, right, he did well in the past. So we've got to change this into the past tense, which is 골랐어요. 골랐어요. Perfect. Good job, everybody. These irregular verbs are tricky. We practiced them a little bit earlier in this book, but it's still sometimes easy to forget how these irregular verbs conjugate. Thank you, everybody. Good job. Okay. Now here we have another exercise. We've got two more. The first one is to combine 잘 and 잘못 with the 또 particle. 또. 또, if you can remember, means also, or as well, or to. Also, as well, or to. And you can attach 또 to any noun to say also that noun. So we're going to write sentences using 잘 and 잘못 that also use 또. Place 또 on the bold subject of the sentence. So these bold sentences are where we're going to put 또. So my friend is also a good singer. So you're talking about multiple people and you're saying my friend also is a good singer too. So first we need this word for my friend. My friend in Korean you can say 제 친구. 제 친구 means my is 제 and then 친구 is friend. So my friend 또 also. My friend also is a good singer. We had good singer earlier on the previous page. That's 노래를 song, well, 잘, and then 해요 means to do. 노래를 잘해요. She sings or he sings well also. 가수 means singer. Someone who sings is a 가수. All right. You could use 가수 here, but it's sort of not natural. In English, we say things like, I'm a good cook, I'm a good singer, even though it's not your job, right? You don't have a job as being a chef, you're not actually a professional singer. So 가수 in Korean means that you actually work as a singer. So if you use 가수 here, it doesn't quite have the same meaning as in English. This is kind of tricky, but like, my friend is also a good singer. It's possible that you and your friend are both professional singers, right? And then maybe you would use 가수. So then you'd say like, 제 친구도 가수예요. My friend is also a singer. Or 좋은 가수예요. She's a good singer. It's more like, yeah, my friend sings well. My friend also sings well is another way you could say this sentence in English. It's kind of, yeah, 가수 is only really used if it's your profession. If you are actually, that's like your title, your job, then you would use 가수. But this sort of sentence here, if you're just talking about, oh, my friend's a good cook, my friend's a good, basketball player, a good singer, then you use 잘 with the verb. 잘해요. 노래를 잘해요. Hopefully that kind of makes sense, I hope. It applies to this one as well. My friend is also a good cook. My friend is also a good cook. We have also 제 친구도. Also my friend. Yes, good job everybody. AJ, Hotchard, Kylie, Valeria, perfect. 제 친구도. To cook is 요리하다. 요리를 잘해요 means to be good at cooking or a good cook. Ooh. Remember, again, you could say, like, my friend is also a good chef. You could use yorisa, but that only really counts if you're both chefs. If you're just saying my friend's a good cook, she's good at cooking, this is more natural. 제 친구도 요리를 잘해요. Why is the verb to do used here? So this comes from the verb 요리하다. Now, 요리하다, this 하다 part, to do part, is combined with many nouns to say to do that noun. 요리하다, 운동하다, 공부하다. The reason that this is split up here is because 요리하다, like many 하다 verbs, it's what's called a separable verb. That means it has a noun part and a verb part. And with these separable 하다 verbs, 잘 should go in the middle. You could say 잘 요리해요, but it's just not that natural. Everyone will understand you, of course, but it's just not supernatural. It's more natural to say 요리를 잘해요. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. C is Nadia is also a good driver. Now, driving is a new word that we have. What is the verb to drive in Korean? Does anyone know the verb to drive? Have a think. Valeria, awesome. Yes, it is 운전 하다. Now you can probably guess this also is a separable 하다 verb, so do not be fooled. We've got to do the same thing here. So Nadia, now Nadia is in bold, right? So this is where we put our 도. Nadia also, Nadia too, as well as other people, Nadia, 안녕하세요. She's good at driving. So 운전, this ends on a consonant, so we add 운전을 잘해요. She is a good driver. She's good at driving. She drives well. She's a skilled driver. Any of those sentences. All right, how do we say this? Rachel is also good at swimming. Now be careful here that the bold noun we have to add things to, the 도 to, is the swimming. So it's not going on the subject this time. It's going on this word here. But let's start with the start. We'll start with Rachel. Rachel은. What is Rachel good at? She's good at swimming. Swimming in Korean is 수영하다. 수영하다. Yes, Kylie, good job. So here, swimming, 수영, is a noun. Don't forget, this 수영 is a noun. So that means we can attach 도 to it. 수영도. That means swimming as well. Swimming also, she's good at it. 잘해요. So there's a little subtle difference in meaning between like these two sentences. Here, we're saying that Nadia as well as other people, Nadia is good at driving. Here, we're saying that Rachel is good at swimming as well as other things. She might also be good at running. She might be good at, I don't know, basketball, like whatever it is. She's good at multiple things, including swimming. 수영도, also swimming, 잘해요. She does it well. Okay. E. James also can't really drink alcohol. James also can't really drink alcohol. Again, we have the 도 on the alcohol word. I don't understand that part. I'm so sorry. That's okay. I'll say it one more time just in case because it is a little tricky. I'll try and explain it again. So wherever you put 도, this particle 도, that is what means also or as well or to. So when you attach 도 to 수영, that means swimming too, swimming as well. Swimming as well as other sports is what this means. Here, you're attaching do to the person. So Nadia also, Nadia as well. That means Nadia as well as other people. My other friends, my other co-workers, whoever it is you're talking about, Nadia also is good at something. Does that help? I hope so. Valeria, Kylie, yeah, awesome. Moving ahead, James also can't really drink alcohol. James는. As for James, also can't really drink alcohol. So alcohol is 술. And here we're saying alcohol as well as other things, right? That's what that bold here means. So maybe he also can't drink coffee, maybe he also can't drink milk. Whatever it is, there's multiple things he can't drink, including 술. James는 술도 잘 못 마셔요. 잘 못, not well, 마셔요, drink. Okay, awesome. Here we have one more grammar form that we're going to talk about and use, and that's 랑이랑. 랑이랑 is used to mean and. Specifically when you're talking about nouns, two nouns. So let's see how this works. The first one, Nadia and Rachel can't sing very well. So here we're talking about two people. They both can't sing. Okay, Nadia and Rachel. Valeria, yes. So let's start with our subjects. Nadia. Now here's where we put our and. Nadia and Rachel, right? Nadia ends on a vowel sound, so we add 랑. 나디아랑 Rachel은. As for these two people, they can't sing. 노래를 잘 못해요. Nadia and Rachel, singing, they can't really do it. 잘 못해요. Can 랑 also mean with? It can. 랑 also can mean with, particularly if you see it with 같이. If you see like Nadia랑 Rachel 같이, that means Nadia and Rachel together did something. Excellent question, Boo. What's the difference between 이랑 and 과? 랑이랑 is a little bit more casual and it's more common in spoken language. 과 is kind of more formal and it's more used in written language. So this is the more conversational form. But excellent question. They both mean and though. They mean the same thing, just this one's more casual. This one, Rachel and Chris can't swim very well. All right, so here we have Rachel. Now Rachel ends on a consonant, right? So here we add 이랑. Rachel이랑 크리스는. As for Rachel and Chris, they can't swim very well. So that's 수영을. 수영하다 is to swim. So it becomes 수영을 잘 못해요. All right. C. Nadia and Chris cook well. They're good at cooking. How do we say this? We have first Nadia. It ends on a vowel, so Nadia랑. And then Chris is 크리스는. So same 크리스는. They cook well. That's 요리를 잘해요, right? 잘 못 is not well, and 잘 is well. 요리를 잘해요. They are good at cooking. All right. D. Rachel and I did well in our studies. Now, in order to say this, doing well in our studies, you've got to kind of remember to not think too literally. What are we talking about here? We're talking about their skill with studying, their proficiency with studying. So what does this mean? How would you say this in Korean? It's simpler than you might think. Let's start with Rachel and I. That's 레이첼, 이랑. I in Korean we know is 저. 레이첼이랑 저는. Rachel and me. Yes, we need to use 공부해요. 공부를 잘해요. Valeria, perfect. 공부를 잘 했어요. 공부하다 is to study, and then 공부를 잘해라, 잘했어요 means to do well at studying or do well in our studies. 레이첼이랑 저는 공부를 잘했어요. We did well in our studies. All right, this one. Nadia and I can't really eat gluten. We can't really eat gluten, Nadia and I. So first we're going to have this Nadia 랑 저는. Me and Nadia, or Nadia and I, can't really eat gluten. So gluten, you may not know, but I think it's gluten, I believe. Gluten. How to say we can't really eat it. That's just 잘못 먹어요. 잘못 먹어요. Can't really eat it. Nadia and I. Question, is 랑이랑 only used with nouns exclusively? Yes, that is correct. If you want to talk about and with verbs, there is a different grammar form you use. My name is Nadia. Can you eat gluten, I wonder? That'd be funny if you could not. That would be interesting. You can. Well, then this is different Nadia. I'm not talking about you specifically. Different Nadia can't eat gluten. Is there a reason none of these sentences have subject particles? There's no particular reason. This could be a subject particle here. When you use the subject particle, you emphasize the subject of the sentence. So if you said 나디아랑 레이첼이 노래를 잘해요, you are emphasizing the subject of the sentence. When you use 는, you're emphasizing the verb. So there's just a slightly different meaning. You can screenshot it. Yes, you can. 고 and 그리고. Yes, exactly. For verbs, you use 고. So it just depends on what the question is and what you're talking about. If you're talking specifically about, which people you know that can sing well, you might use the subject particle. You'd say 나디아랑 레이첼이 노래를 잘해요. Like, well, as it comes to people who sing well, for me, I know Nadia and Rachel. If you use the topic particle here, it emphasizes their ability of singing. So if you're talking about, how are Nadia and Rachel at singing, you would say 나디아랑 레이첼은. As for them, they can't sing well. I'm talking about their ability to sing here when you use the topic particle. So either of them is possible, it just depends on the situation. Yeah. Okay. So, move it a bit to the left. Oh, sure, sorry. Question, how can we tell if it's I can't do something or I don't do something often? You'll have to know from the context of the conversation. There's not really a true way to know. It just depends on what kind of they're talking about. And it kind of, in a way, you can kind of see it meaning the same thing, right? Like if you don't do something often, you kind of also probably don't do it well. So in the Korean way, like they're kind of the same thing. And then obviously, like if someone's specifically talking about the frequency of things, you might see other words being used like 자주, that kind of thing as well. But yeah, it just depends. Okay. Here at the bottom, there is also a dictation exercise, so make sure you do that if you get the book. Can you show us the first page again, please? Sure, so I'll show both. This is the page before if you want to screenshot it as well. I can try and flatten it out a little bit for you to take a screenshot. And then I'll show the first page as well in a few seconds. This is the first page. I didn't do all of the exercises here. Some of them are still blank, but you can probably figure it out. Today, as a summary, we learned about 잘 and 잘못. 잘 means well, and 잘못 means not well. And the book that I have been using is the Level 2 workbook. This is the second workbook in the series of 5. If this book is a good level for you, definitely check out Level 2. If it's a little bit tricky, a bit difficult, check out Level 1. And if you want more of a challenge, I recommend Levels 3 and 4. Level 5 we are currently writing right now. It's still being made, but it should come out in the next few months. 감사합니다. 네. Everyone, you did really well. Great job today. Great work. And that does bring us sort of to the end of today's lesson. Next week, next Tuesday, we're going to be using 는 now to make adjectives. So if you want to practice that, come back here at 5 p.m. next week to learn about adjectives in Korean. Until then, question, do you also do lives for workbook 3? I do not currently do lives for level 3. I'm just doing level 1 and 2. I may possibly do level 3 in the future if people want it. In my experience though, I feel like most of the people coming to these live streams are beginners. So I try and focus to lean more beginner instead of the upper level stuff. But if people want me to do level 3, I can also do that in the future as well. 네, 감사합니다, 여러분. 5 p.m. Eastern time. So right now, minus 1 hour. An hour before now. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Every Monday and Tuesdays. Mondays is level 1, Tuesdays is level 2. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, wonderful rest of your week. And I'll see you next time. Bye. 감사합니다. 다음에 봐요.